Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. The Supreme Creator of the heavens and the earth, God most merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates everything. He creates every detail and every living human being in the universe. The design we confront when we closely examine the human body is evidence of the uniqueness and perfection, the flawlessness of Allah's art of creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala draws our attention to the perfection in the universe as we see in Surah Al-Mulk verses 3 to 4. He who created the seven heavens in layers. You will not find any flaw in the creation of the All-Merciful. Look again. Do you see any gaps? Then look again and again. Your sight will return to you dazzled and exhausted. Now this verse of the Quran is very, very important, and it's very important for scientists because this is a verse wrapped up in science. Because the art and skill of the scientific method, the entire basis of science is based on the art of observation. And scientists will tell you that observation is the key to the scientific method, and that is how experiments and so on are formed, right? So observation is the key. And the Quran is challenging people. Look at science. Look again. Use your eyes. Do you see any gaps in Allah's creation? Look again and again. So this verse is challenging people to use the scientific method, but to use it honestly. And if you really go deep into science, you will have no choice but to say that yes, indeed, God exists. An intelligent design exists in the universe. Yet sadly, there are some people who move away, but there are many people who are absolutely dazzled. And when they see verses like this, and when they open the Quran and they read it, they are absolutely amazed at the amount of scientific verses that are based in the Quran, which were not possible 1400 years ago. How is it possible for a man, Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, a Bedouin in the desert, 1400 years ago, to talk about an expanding universe when scientists did not even have telescopes? How could he have known that? This was only, the expanding universe was only first proposed by Edwin Hubble in the early 1900s, 1920 or 29 or so on. And then there was the red shift and the blue shift. How did a person living 1400 years ago know that the galaxies are producing a red shift, which means that they are moving away from us, they're moving and expanding? How? It is impossible. How would a person 1400 years ago know what science has only confirmed today, that the universe originated from a big bang? Because the Quran tells us about it. How did a person 1400 years ago know that there is healing or shifa in honey, which scientists have only discovered in the past century, not 1400 years ago? How did someone living 1400 years ago in a desert know that even plants have male and female parts when scientists only discovered this in the 1800s? How did someone living 1400 years ago talk about the embryonic development of a baby from the time of fertilization, the 2-cell stage, the 4-cell, the zygote, the 8-cell, the morula stage, and it clings to the inside of the uterus, when microscopes were not even available, because all of these stages that the Quran speaks about are microscopic stages. And the microscope was only invented by Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1750 or so on. How is it possible? How is it possible for someone living 1400 years ago in the desert, as he's going, riding the camel through the desert, and he's telling the people, you know what, the mountain that you are seeing, for example, Mount Uhud or any other mountain, it's actually going very deep into the ground because it is stabilizing the crust of the earth. How did he know that, when geologists have only discovered that in the past 50 to 100 years? How on earth did he know that? So it tells us without a shadow of a doubt that yes, indeed, this Quran was not written by a human being, Muhammad Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sallam, But this Quran is indeed the Kalamullah, the word of a Supreme Creator. So, as a big man, sir, if you have not yet read the Quran, if you don't have a copy of the Quran, please get a copy today. Contact any Muslim or any organization, and they will be more than happy to give you a free copy of the Quran. Go to any mosque, and they will be more than happy to give you a copy of the Quran. So don't listen to the media propaganda, especially when we are seeing with the Epstein files and the lies that the media is perpetuating, because there's an elite force who wants to dominate the world, and the way that they're going to dominate humanity is by influencing your brain. They want to control your brain. And the way they control your brain is through the entertainment media, the movies that you watch, and the television, the news that you watch. That's how they control your brain, because with lies, they tell you who to love and who to hate. This is the job of the media. And part of the job of the elite ones who worship money, the worshippers of Mammon, they use Mammon as the god. Money is their god. They want to control humanity. They don't care how they get the money. They don't care which nations they invade, as long as they get more money and more power, so they can spread more lies through the media and through the entertainment industry, and thereby they are brainwashing humanity. And we start hating people we've never met in our life. And we run away from religious teachings like the Quran, which is directly from God, most merciful, that same God who created you. How can you not read his book when he sent that book out of his love for you? How can you reject this great book that he has sent to you? Please read the Quran before you die. As upliftment. So get a copy today, don't delay, and then start reading it from this weekend. Alhamdulillah,